Ugh.
I've sent Rick a text to tell him that we're ready. Once he comes in, I will get things started. That work for you guys?
Not a problem.
Thank you. Oh,
Yes,
he says he doesn't have the link. Could you please forward him something, please?
not a problem.
Thank you.
Hello? I didn't get anything about this. Yeah, I know, I just got it. I was talking to who's ever on here.
Yeah, we sent the advisory this morning out after you and I had kind of talked via text yesterday.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I didn't see anything in my
What I'll keep it.
I actually looked for it before the BRE meeting.
Yeah. I know you've got are you doing the walkthrough?
What time is that at?
They started around 12:30. I've got to get down there after we're done too. So I will keep this very tight and work to keep it very short and just thank them for their patience and let them know we've got to get moving with the rest of the setup. Does that work?
Who else is on? So are we not live yet?
We're recording. I believe we have several attendees that are waiting for us to come in. They've got members of the media.
People hear you and I talking right now?
We've just started.
Okay.
All right. So Rico, can I get things started?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for your patience. We have our elections director, Mr. Richard Barron, here to give us a very brief update. We ask that we keep things very tight to a minimum of 15 minutes. As you know, we are preparing for our risk limiting audit, which is to begin tomorrow. And he has several things on his plate, including meetings and a walkthrough. So we will turn things over to him so he can provide a technical update on what to expect when things kick off tomorrow.
So tomorrow we're going to be at Georgia World Congress Center, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. That'll carry on Sunday, Monday, and then into Tuesday and Wednesday if necessary, with 125 two-person teams. that will comprise, the 2-person teams are considered called audit boards, and those audit boards will get started tomorrow, and they will be comprised of county employees. And after that, they will get to counting. We'll have to do a training in the morning, and then we'll move forward. There will be vote review panels as well, and we are getting the Georgia World Congress Center set up today. It could go past 5 each day because you have to, a panel, an audit board has to finish its batch before it can leave. So there will be times when an audit board will not be complete at 5, but our goal is to do, based on the Secretary of State's calculations, they sent all the counties numbers yesterday. They said that if we did 248 2-person audit teams, the audit would take us 8 hours. We're putting together 125 audit teams. And so theoretically, it should take 2 days, although I think the first morning will probably get started a little slowly. And then once people are used to the process, it'll ramp up and get going. But so I'm thinking this is going to go into Monday.
Right.
We've never
Okay.
done this. I would expect it to start slowly. And that's all I have.
All right. I've asked any members of the media, if you have any questions, please submit those in our Q&A area so that we can take those, and we do have one. How have all Fulton results been uploaded to the SOS site now?
Yes.
Could you talk about what it's been like for your staff working such long hours last week and now having to do this new process? What's the morale? What is your message to them? And how are you personally feeling?
Well, I'm personally feeling, I guess, better now that we made it through certification, and I'm proud of all my staff's efforts and everything we've gone through this year. Unfortunately, I think for the staff now, since we started another election on Monday for Congressional District 5 special election, and we have Senate District 39 coming down on us in the next, we'll start early voting for that in probably a week and a half. We have no time to rest, and then we've got this hand count beginning tomorrow. So none of us really have had any time off in the last few months. So, but I think a lot of people are really tired, essentially, and that's what it is. And we know we have to push forward through January, and we're committed to do that.
All right. So, can you talk about what special security measures you are taking to ensure safety of the teams and the process?
Well, we will have, Georgia World Congress Center has a police force that can provide security, and we have been coordinating with Fulton County as well. But I think Georgia World Congress is going to take the lead in that. So I would refer most of what GWCC's police force will do, but they will be providing the security for the venue.
All right. How many total ballots were cast for the November election and being retallied in Fulton? And are you all working around the clock starting tomorrow?
We won't be working around the clock, no. 528,777 ballots, and we will be working 7 to 5 each day and to get this hand audit tally completed for the presidential race. We decided to double the number of teams, and we're going to have 128 2-person teams, so that we are only going to run 1 shift per day, because I don't want my staff to have to supervise. I think some counties are doing 2 shifts, like a 7 to 3, 3 to 11, or 3:30 to 11:30, something along those lines. But what I felt like, since we were going to be in Georgia World Congress Center in a 110,000 square foot room, we can have the tables at a distance from one another and safely do this with 125 two-person teams.
The process means that more time will be spent in close quarters with other people during the pandemic. Does that part of the process concern you, with everyone crowding into a room?
It does. We're in a really large facility, so but there are risks when you have that many people gathering anywhere, and so we're live streaming it with the hopes that, you know, some people that we're going to want to come down and watch in person may just watch at home. I know that, like, when we were at State Farm Arena during absentee by mail processing, that room was very crowded. And, you know, we are cognizant at Fulton County about the pandemic, just because we've had 28 infections this year in our department. And so it's always on our mind. And if we weren't able to spread out like this at Georgia World Congress, then we wouldn't have that many people in there.
For clarification, Fulton is officially saying it's certified now, correct?
Yes.
Right. And last questions. What is the estimate cost of this recount? Where would that money come from? And what is the cost comprised of?
Well, I'm not sure what the total cost is. I was not in the contract negotiations to secure Georgia World Congress Center for that, so I haven't seen what the rental cost was, but it was rolled into some other things where we decided to rent Georgia World Congress through the end of January in order for us to be able to prepare for the U.S. Senate runoff, or I guess it would be called the general election runoff, January 5th, as well as the Senate District 39 and Congressional District 5 special elections that are being held on December 1st. So we decided to rent out 2 different spaces there, as well as Georgia World Congress, and we can then get that area ready once the recount is concluded. We are using county employees, and a lot of people are either being reassigned, or these are people that are on administrative leave and have been receiving paychecks but may not be either doing their full-time job yet, or they've been working part-time. But the county is reassigning approximately 300 people to work on this in order to use county employees, so we aren't adding to the budget. And the county the county is essentially paying for this.
There are questions as to whether the SOS is ordering Fulton to actually legal under state election laws. Are you certain this is a legal process and that the audit results will be the official results? Has Fulton's lawyers reviewed this?
That's a good question for the county attorney to answer. I mean, I've seen arguments on that it is not legal, but I mean, I'm not an attorney, so I'm not going to pretend to be one here. However, so I think you should refer that question to the Fulton County attorney.
All right. Are you confident in this process?
Well, I think it's going to be. I mean, I haven't been part of a recount by hand. And, I mean, I remember doing one in the village of Point Venture in Texas. I think it was in 2001, but I think there were less than 100 votes. I mean, I've seen quite a few hand counts that when I've done overseas election observation missions. So, but this one is, and this one is set up somewhat similar to some of the, but I think it's going to, I mean, the training that we received yesterday along with the spreadsheet, it's pretty simple, but it just takes a lot of people to get this. It takes a lot of people to get this process done.
All right, we're going to start to wrap this up, but how many teams of two did you mention? Was it 125 or 128?
125.
All right, and how many Dem and Republican panel members will be there?
Well, the Republicans and Democrats are appointing the monitors, and they can have one monitor each per 10 audit teams. So they will send the list of people, and then those monitors will be able to walk amongst the tables, and they aren't able to record anything or videotape anything or photograph anything, but they're there to monitor. I guess if they have questions, they would then take it to people on my staff that will be primarily overseeing this process.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Barron, for providing a technical overview of the recount, which will begin tomorrow. If you have additional questions from the media, please feel free to send me an email. That's regina.waller@fultoncountyga.gov. And I will make sure that your information is forwarded and we'll get you the responses that you need. So thank you.
And I would say too, that it is open. I see a question there. It says, so I explained the monitors, the full co-Republicans, full co-Democrats appoint the party monitors. Visit observers, they can go down. There's a designated observation area as well as an area for the media. So I can conclude with that.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Everyone have a good day.
Thanks.